Okay, so we all obsess over what we're eating, right? But what if I told you that when you eat is just as important? Today, we're going to dive into this really simple guide that suggests your clock might just be the most powerful health tool you've got.
I mean, think about it for a second. That 3 p.m. slump, we've all been there. Or how about when you're exhausted but just can't fall asleep? Well, the answer might not be changing your diet, but changing your schedule. Let's take a look.
So here's the guide we're looking at today. It's super straightforward. It lays out a timeline for your meals, and the whole idea is that if you sync up your eating with your body's natural clock, it can make a massive difference in how you feel every single day. Okay, so let's start at the beginning of the day, just like you would in real life, with breakfast. Everyone says it's the most important meal, right? Well, it turns out that timing is a huge reason why. And what's really cool here is how specific it gets. It's not just about grabbing something on your way out the door. The guide says there's a key window you need to hit to really kickstart your whole system for the day. So that ideal window, according to this guide, it's between 7 and 8 a.m. You can almost think of it like your body's just woken up and it's primed, ready to take in fuel after basically fasting all night long. But hey, if your mornings are totally chaotic, there's a deadline. You've got until 10 a.m. But after that, you might be missing that perfect moment to get your metabolism, your body's engine, fired up for the rest of the day. Yeah, we've all heard it a million times, I know. But this guide really doubles down on it for a good reason. It's not just some old saying, it's like a functional command for your body. So what's the big why? Well, eating in that 7 to 8 a.m. window gives your brain the sugar it needs to actually focus, and it fuels your body so you're not just running on fumes from the get-go. Okay, so you've crushed the morning thanks to that perfectly timed breakfast. Now what about the middle of the day? That's when so many of us just hit a wall. And lunch isn't just about stuffing your face because you're hungry. It's a strategic move. It's all about refueling to stop that afternoon crash that we all know and, let's be honest, hate. So let's check out the timing. So that sweet spot for lunch, it's right between noon and 2 p.m. The whole point of this timing is to keep your energy steady so you can power through the rest of the afternoon. And this is a really important piece of the puzzle. The guide says aiming for about 4 hours between breakfast and lunch is perfect. Why? Because that spacing keeps your energy stable. It stops your blood sugar from crashing, which is exactly what makes you feel super hungry and kind of useless. And this is where you really see the payoff. Look, on one side, you've got a poorly timed lunch that leads to an energy crash, you get ravenously hungry, but on the other side, a well-timed lunch gives you that steady energy and stable blood glucose. And all that is the sugar in your blood that your body uses for fuel. Keeping that stable is the secret to dodging that 3 p.m. slump. All right, we've made it through the day. Let's talk about the last meal, dinner. And the timing here is a totally different ballgame. It's less about fuel for activity and way more about getting your body ready to rest and recover. Yeah, the whole focus for dinner is completely different. It's all about giving your body enough time to digest everything before you hit the hay. And this, apparently, has a huge impact on how well you actually sleep. So when's the best time? Between 6 and 8 p.m. This lines up perfectly with your metabolism naturally slowing down as your body gets ready to call it a day. And you guessed it, just like the other meals, there's a hard stop. The guide says try not to eat after 9 p.m. because it can really mess with your body's ability to just rest and repair itself while you're sleeping. Okay, and this brings us to what might be the biggest rule for dinner. Forget the exact time for a second. The most important thing is to eat at least 2 hours before you plan to go to sleep. Seriously, this is the main takeaway for this meal. So why is that 2-hour rule such a big deal? Well, first, it lets your stomach do its thing before you lie down, which helps you get that really deep, restorative sleep. And second, it helps your body actually use the calories you just ate instead of just storing them while you're passed out. Okay, so we've gone through breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's pull it all together and just look at what this perfect eating schedule looks like in one simple snapshot. And there you have it. Super simple, right? Breakfast from 7 to 8 a.m. for that morning energy. Lunch, 12 to 2 p.m. to keep your blood sugar steady. And dinner, 6 to 8 p.m. to get you ready for a great night's sleep. Every meal has its own job and its own time. And really, that's the bottom line here. This isn't about some crazy, restrictive diet. It's just about working with your body's own internal clock, not against it. So it kind of leaves you with one simple question to think about. Are your mealtimes helping you, or are they holding you back?